learning goal today. I am still sticking with the how to solve and graph inequalities because that is the big learning goal over this entire topic. Our specific small learning goal today is to make sure that you can use multiplication and division. Which at first you're going to be like, why are we going over this? Until the light bulb goes on and you're going to say, oh, that's why she's going over this. Okay? All right, so let's look at this first slide. Notice that each one I said we're going to also check them as we do them. So the first one, we should all know at this point, to get rid of the 3, we do what? Multiply both sides by 3 because that's a divided by 3. The opposite is to multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3, multiply this side by 3. That allows the 3's to cancel. And I think the answer is a is greater than 15. So what this is saying is anything greater than 15. Can't use exactly 15, but a number bigger than 15 would be
15.1.
15.1, sure. 16. I'm going to use 18 because it's divisible by 3 and it makes my life easier when I check it. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Is 6 greater than 5?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now I could do that infinite amount of times, right? And it would continue to work, which is why we're using our inequality symbols. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, so we should know that to solve this, we do what? What? No. Bad. What do we do? Divide. This is a multiplication. It's 4 times y, so the opposite is to divide by 4. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. 28 divided by 4 is 7, greater than or equal to y. All right, so let's go back in and check this. Give me a number for y. Nope.
7.
7 would be okay. 4 would be okay. 6.9 would be okay. Anything less than 7, okay? I'm going to go ahead and use 0. I love using 0 when I'm multiplying. So we all agree 0 is less than 7. So if I plug in a 0, 4 times 0 is 0. That is definitely less than 28. So that is still true. I must have done that correctly. Okay? All right, so let's look at the next one. What do I do on the next one?
Multiply.
Multiply by what? Negative 5. Okay, so I say, all right, multiply by negative 5, multiply by negative 5. Negatives cancel out, 5 cancels out. 5 is less than negative 20. All right, give me a number that's less than negative 20. Negative 21.
How does negative 5
Negative
times
20.
negative 5 cancel out?
Because it's 5 in the numerator and 5 in the denominator,
Isn't that multiplication?
but they're over one over the other. This is capital. This is over 1. One's in the numerator, one's in the denominator, so they're cross canceling. Or they're giving you negative 5 over negative 5, which would be 1 whole. Okay, so because I want to make this easy on myself, is it okay if I say, is negative 25 less than negative 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me plug this in. So negative 25. What is negative 25 divided by negative 5?
5.
Positive 5, right? You agree? Okay, positive 5 less than 4. Something's wrong, right? Those negatives throw things off. So there's a really important rule that comes up. Anytime you are multiplying or dividing by a negative number, this inequality sign actually has to reverse. So this symbol right here actually has to reverse. So now let's try it again and see if this works. Okay, so give me a number that's greater than negative 20.
Negative 19.1.
Sure. Let's make one that's also divisible by negative 5 to make it easier.
Negative 15.
Negative 15. Negative 15 is greater than negative 20. Okay, so negative 15 divided by negative 5 is positive 3, right? Is positive 3 less than 4? Yes. And do you see how it works now? So it's one of these. Okay, what's wrong with it?
Why did you think of this?
The inequality symbol has to reverse.
That's too much work.
Wait, so what if one of the signs is negative and one of them is positive?
Well, that's a really good question because we're going to get to some more different cases and see if this makes sense. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's try this one. How do I solve this one? Divide by what? what?
3.
Divide by -3. Okay, divide by -3. Divide by -3. Okay, so negatives cancel out. A. Now, let's do it the old way. Let's not change it this time. Let's see what happens. This would be -9. Agreed? Okay, so now give me a number less than -9.
Negative 18.
-10. I heard -10. You guys all agree -10 is less than -9. Okay, now watch what happens when I plug it in. If I make this times -10, what's -3 times -10?
30.
Positive 30. Is that less than 27? No. You see, it doesn't work. It doesn't give you a true answer. So I said that anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to switcheroo your sign. So let's switch it and see if that makes it right. So I switched it. Maybe. I promise I'm trying to switch it. Okay, I'm like a dead spot on my. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Alright. It doesn't. Okay, there we go. So I switch it. Now, give me a number greater than -9.
Negative 8.
-8. Okay, so I plug in -8 this time. Okay, what is -3 times -8?
24.
Positive 24, right? Is that less than 27? Yes. So see, in order to make it work, there has to be a rule that says if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to reverse that inequality symbol. Okay, and if you're saying, okay, what? We got one more to do, but here's the slide right here. On the next slide, I wrote it out for you. When multiplying or dividing by a negative number, reverse the inequality sign. And here's your example. If you divide by this -5, this thing has to reverse. Okay, and the same thing for multiplication. If it's multiplication of a negative number. All right, let's look at that last example. Oops. Right here. Okay, so let's look at this one. How do I solve 5? Divide by what?
6.
Divide by 6. So I divide this side by 6 and this side by 6. So my question for you is, do I reverse my sign? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Because it was a positive.
Because I divided by a positive 6. The rule says only if you divide or multiply by a negative number. Not if there's a negative in the problem. But I divided by a positive 6, which means you are not going to reverse this sign. And then I get -7 and stay with that.
Oh, that makes sense.
So only if it's negative does the sign reverse. And that's really the only new thing I'm showing you today. Okay, I probably could have taught you all this in one day. However, adding and then the graphing and then this rule gets to be a lot in one day. So that's why I just did it in 2 days. All right, let's look at this and make sure that we can write inequality statements. So this one says a type of fish for your aquarium costs $3 each. You can spend at most $15. Let F be the number of fish you can buy. Which inequality models the problem? Everybody take a second and see if you can figure out which one you think it is. Two hands going up, 3 hands going up, 4 hands going up, 5, kind of a fish hand. Fish hand. All right, what do you think, Blake?
I thought it was either B or D.
You thought it was either B or D? Okay, great place to start. I love that you started somewhere. We took 2 of them out, right? We knew it wasn't fish plus $3, because that would mean like the fish was $1 and then we had to pay like a $3 fee. Okay, so we gotta decide which one it is. You can spend at most 15, which means that's the maximum amount that you have in your pocket. So that means if you go with this one's saying that you would have more than $15. This one right here is saying if I buy 3 fish, it has to be less than $15. So we want to go with choice B. Okay, so how many fish can you buy? So I'd say 3 less than 15. Am I going to reverse my inequality sign?
No.
Why? Very good. I divided by a positive, so it stays like that. How many fish can I buy?
5.
Wrong.
5 or less.
5 or less. I can buy 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or none, and that's what inequalities are. And you're going to see that sometimes asked. It's going to say how many can you buy? It's exactly 5, and they're going to count wrong. Okay? All right. husband drinks at least 70 liters of water a day. Now, just process how much that is. Do you know how much a liter is? It's like a water bottle. Yes, like I think this is like a liter. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is a liter. Can you imagine drinking 70 of these a day?
Well, yeah. Well, if I was that big, yeah.
You were that big.
Am I getting
I'd be
paid
in
to
the
do
bathroom
this?
all day.
Yeah, that's a lot of
This is
water.
how he's gonna get rich.
Each trunk full holds 4 liters.
Just
So
try
imagine
water.
you take one drink and you just took 4 of those in at one time. Okay? So how will we write an inequality for this? Samantha's going to try it. Time she gets home.
That's Samantha. She's the one that's came back.
All right. What do I always tell you to start with? What's your total?
70.
70. So I would start with the 70, and then I would put in these 2 symbols and decide which one I need. Okay? So is this saying that he can drink more than 70?
Yeah.
That would be this sign. Or if he has to drink less than 70.
You drink more than.
More. Can he drink at least?
Or
Can he
equal
drink
to.
exactly 70? Yes. That is legal for him to drink exactly 70. Okay. Now, how would I write the other side then? What?
4 times X.
4 times X, or I wrote 4L just because for liters. But 4, a variable, is greater than or equal to 7. All right. Last thing I want you guys to do then is I want to make sure that you're still good on the graphing and solving. So go ahead and work this last slide as practice.